Hey guys, Chef Ben from St. Burch coming at you one more time. Today I'm going to do a really simple filet steak with a caramelized mushroom and madeira sauce. So a couple things I'm going to teach you today is how to properly pan-sear a nice piece of steak. But I think what's more exciting is how amazing you can make this beautiful pan sauce depending on what ingredients you have around your house. Red wine, Madeira, sherry, and it's really simple. It comes together. It's a beautiful weekday meal. So here we go. The first thing we're gonna do is season this filet here. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is when you have a thick cut like this is how much seasoning a steak really takes. So I'm gonna hit it with just freshly cracked black pepper, kind of on all sides. And that's how I kind of like to do my steaks. A lot of people will do Montreal steak seasoning or another kind of seasoning, whatever you like, it's all great. If you have a really nice piece of meat, sometimes I just like to let that shine through, and I'll just do salt and pepper. So again, nice and liberal. And I know it might seem like a lot, but again, this steak is 2.5 inches thick, 3 inches thick. It can really take a lot of seasoning. So season your steak, and then we'll let it rest just for a second and kind of let those seasonings penetrate. Meanwhile, I'll be heating my pan over medium-high heat, and then we'll get searing. All right, so I have my stainless steel pan heating up over medium-high heat. I'm gonna turn it up to high now. It's been on this heat for probably 5 minutes, so that's nice and hot. I'm gonna put a little bit of canola oil in there, and it should start to wisp smoke when it's ready. Yep, there it goes. And I'm just gonna start searing this steak. So the next step, while the steak is resting, is we're gonna make this pan sauce. So I took all the kind of like dark oil that we used to cook the steak, removed it, and what we have left here is what we call the fond. It's kind of these stuck-on bits. A lot of flavor in there. So I'm gonna bring it back to the heat. I'm gonna add a little bit more fresh oil. And then we're gonna cook our mushrooms. Once the mushrooms are like 90% of the way cooked, I'm gonna add shallots. I'm gonna deglaze with Madeira, and then I'm gonna use chicken stock and just kind of start to reduce that down. Basically, the sauce comes together in one pan. That's why it's called a pan sauce. Again, you can use red wine, you can use white wine, anything, any fortified wine, whatever you're feeling like. The idea is that everything you change has a different texture, different flavor, and it just kind of depends on what you're in the mood for and what you have around the house. All right, so I have my steak cooked and rested. I don't know if you can see that. It's at 125.6, which is about perfect. It's like medium rare. And my sauce is finished, so all there is to do is slice and plate. The beautiful thing about the tenderloin is it's a muscle that's not used very often, and because of that, it's extremely tender, hence the name tenderloin. So it's really nice for cooking. Rare, medium rare. I wouldn't cook it much past that. And despite all the salt that I put on in the beginning, it's still such a thick cut that I like to just add a little bit of coarse finishing salt. So this is just fleur de sel. You could use gray salt or any finishing salt that you like. And lastly, just the mushrooms and the sauce. You can serve this with mashed potatoes, with asparagus, any other roasted vegetable that you like. Just a really great, simple weekday meal. Yeah, let me know how you think, how you like it. Thanks for supporting St. Burch.